Hi friends, welcome to Leela's channel. In this video, we are going to see 10th Standard Social History Unit 2, The World Between Two World Wars, Part 1, Textbook Evaluation. Please like, share and subscribe Leela's channel video again and again. போட்டு பாருங்க answers உங்களுக்கு memorize ஆகும். Board examsல flow easy-ஆ இருக்கும். All the best for your exam. Coming to the subject. First one is choose the correct answer. With whom of the following was the Lateran Treaty signed by Italy? Germany, Russia, Pope, Spain. Answer is Pope. With whose conquest did the Mexican civilization collapse? Hernán Cortés, Francisco Pizarro, Toussaint Louverture, Pedro I. Answer is Hernán Cortés. Who made Peru as part of their domains? English, Spaniards, Russians, French. Example, Spaniards. Which president of the USA pursued good neighbor policy towards Latin America? Franklin D. Roosevelt, Truman, Woodrow Wilson, Eisenhower. Answer is Franklin Roosevelt. Which part of the world disliked dollar imperialism? Please like, share and subscribe Leela's channel. Europe, Latin America, India, China. Answer is Latin America. Fill in the blanks. The founder of the Social Democratic Party was Ferdinand Lassalle. The Nazi Party's propaganda was led by Joseph Goebbels. The Vietnam Nationalist Party was formed in 1927. The secret state policy in Nazi Germany was known as the Gestapo. The Union of South Africa came into being in May 1910. The ANC leader Nelson Mandela was put behind the bars for 27 years. Boers were also known as Afrikaners. Choose the correct statement. During World War I, the primary task of Italy was to keep the Austrians occupied on the southern front. The first huge market crash in the US occurred on 24 October 1929. The ban on African National Congress was lifted in 1966. A. 1 and 2 are correct. B. 3 is correct. C. 2 and 3 are correct. D. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. The answer is A. 1 and 2 are correct. Assertion A. The Berlin Colonial Conference of 1884-85 had resolved that Africa should be divided into spheres of influence of various colonial powers. Reason or the war between the British and Boers in South Africa, however, was in defiance of this resolution. Both A and R are right. A is right, but R is not the right reason. Both A and R are wrong. A is wrong and R has no relevance to A. Answer is A. Both A and R are right. Match the following. Transvaal, gold. Hindenburg, President of Germany. Third Reich, Hitler. Matteotti, Italy. Answer briefly. What do you know of the White Terror in Indochina? In 1929, the Vietnamese soldiers mutinied and attempted to assassinate the French Governor General, but they failed. This was followed by a large-scale peasant revolt led by the communists. The revolt was crushed and thousands of rebels were killed. This incident is known as the White Terror. What was the result of Mussolini's march on Rome? Mussolini organized the fascist march on Rome in October 1922 in the context of a long ministerial crisis. Impressed by the show of force, the king invited Mussolini to form a government. How did Great Depression impact on Indian agriculture? The Great Depression gave a death blow to Indian agriculture and the indigenous manufacturing sector. The value of farm produce declined by half, but the land rent to be paid by the peasant remained unchanged. In terms of prices of agricultural commodities, the obligation of the farmers to the state doubled. The great fall in prices prompted Indian nationalists to demand protection for the internal economy. Define dollar imperialism. Dollar imperialism is the term used to describe the policy of the USA in maintaining and dominating over distant lands through economic aid? Answer in detail. Trace the circumstances that led to the rise of Hitler in Germany. Birth of Nazi Party. The National Socialist German Workers' Party. Nazi Party was founded in Munich in 1919 by a group of 7 members. One of them was Adolf Hitler. During World War I, Hitler served in the Bavarian army. As a great speaker, he won the hearts of the people. Hitler in person. In 1923, he attempted to capture power, but he failed, so he was jailed. During his time in prison, he wrote the book Mein Kampf. Capture of power in the presidential election of 1932. The Communist Party polled about 60 lakh votes. Alarmed capitalists and property owners began to support fascism. Hitler exploited this opportunity to usurp powers. Nazi state of Hitler. As the communists refused to collaborate with the Democrats, the Republican government fell. The industrialists, bankers and junkers prevailed upon President von Hindenburg to designate Hitler as Chancellor in 1933. Then this Nazi state of Hitler was known as the Third Reich. Hitler declared all the political parties except the Nazi Party as illegal. He introduced many reforms and the whole country came under his control. Hitler became the president. In August 1934, Hindenburg died. Hitler became both the president and commander-in-chief of the army, besides being the chancellor. Attempt a narrative account of how the process of colonization happened in India during the interwar period 1919 to 39. The decolonization process started in India from the beginning of 20th century with the launch of the Swedish movement in 1905. There was rapid political as well as economic changes at the outbreak of the First World War in 1914. Diarchy in provinces. The Government of India Act of 1919 introduced diarchy in the provinces. It provided for elected provincial assemblies as well as for Indian ministers to hold certain portfolios under transferred subject. The Indian National Congress rejected diarchy and decided to boycott the legislature. Lack of measures to industrialize India. There was no change in the colonial economic policy despite the discriminating protection given to certain industries such as sugar, cement and chemicals. But in the case of indigenous industries, support was only in the form of providing technical advice and education. Impact of depression on Indian agriculture. The Great Depression gave a death blow to Indian agriculture. The value of farm produce declined by half, but the land rent to be paid by the peasant remained unchanged. The obligation of the farmers to the state doubled. The great fall in prices prompted Indian nationalists to demand protection for the internal economy. Government of India Act 1935. This act provided for greater power of the local governments and the introduction of direct elections. The Indian National Congress won a resounding victory in most of the provinces without consulting the Congress ministries. The British involved India in the World War II. So the Congress ministers in the provinces resigned from office. Describe the rise and growth of nationalist politics in South Africa. There were two main political parties in South Africa. The Unionist Party, mainly British, the South Africa Party, largely Afrikaners and Boers. Both are the first Prime Minister belonged to the South Africa Party. He ruled in cooperation with the British. A militant section of the South Africa Party formed the National Party under Herzog. In the 1920 elections, the National Party gained 44 seats. The South Africa Party, now led by Smuts, secured 41 seats. At this juncture, the British-dominated Unionist Party merged with the South Africa Party. This gave Smuts a majority over the militant Afrikaner-controlled National Party. Please like, share and subscribe Leela Kids channel. We can meet in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.